Welcome to East Alabama Today, featuring topics, events, and interesting people from all over East Alabama. Hosted by Carl Brady. Now, let's get right to the show. Here's Carl Brady.
Hello, welcome into East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady. Thank you so much for being with us on the program today. We'll start off by giving you our contact information. The best way in the world to get in touch with me about the program is to send me email, cbrady@tv24.tv. I want to hear from you about the things going on in your community. You know, we're here, springtime is here, summer is on the way, even though the temperatures have been so hot you'd think it was August instead of June. But we do have a lot of stuff going on in the communities around the area. And the best way for us to find out about them is for you to send us an email and let us know. cbrady@tv24.tv. Now, also, in addition to things happening in the community, we want to know about the interesting people in the community. Maybe you know someone who has an odd or interesting hobby. Maybe they have a wonderful talent that you think they should share. Maybe they're an artist or a musician or something along those lines. Let me know about these people by sending in an email, cbrady@tv24.tv. And while you're on the internet, be sure to check out the TV24 website, tv24.tv. Surf around down there a little bit, find out more about our local programming on the TV here, about our local sports programming, which we have a huge sports programming lineup coming up for you in the fall as football season and basketball season approaches. And of course, if you happen to miss any of our newscasts at 5, 6, or 10 o'clock, you can get updated news online at TV24.tv. Now, today we're going to be talking about autism awareness, and we'll be back in just a moment on East Alabama Today. Welcome back into the show, East Alabama Today. I'm Carl Brady, and as I mentioned a moment ago, we are going to be talking about autism and autism awareness today on the program. And our guests are some folks who've been on the program with us before, but it's been several months since their last visit, so we thought we'd bring them back and get an update on their efforts at autism awareness. We've got Paul Noah with us. Paul, good to see you.
Good to see you.
And your son Zachary with us as well. Zachary, great to see you again, buddy. Awesome to have you guys here on the program. And last time you were here, we talked about the autism race car. And you were in the process of getting it ready to get out on the track, and still had some work to do on it. But I know it's been out on the track this spring out at Green Valley and other places. So
yes,
keep us update us on where things have been going.
We've been traveling to different tracks all over the Southeast with the little car and doing different shows and going to car shows, and we're going to Knocklow Falls this weekend with it, going to a car show there. And then Saturday night we're going to be back at Green Valley with a car and racing it, and then doing rides after the race is over, doing the two-seater deal for the kids. And we completed the car in January, and our first show was a car show in Birmingham, and then the Ice Bowl at Talladega Short Track.
Right.
And then we did the race at Bama Bash at Green Valley in February. And like I said, we've been all over. We've been in Mississippi, North Alabama, went to South Alabama 2 weeks ago. We've just been traveling all over trying to get autism awareness out to all the people at the racetracks and let them know what autism is all about. And
that's exactly what you're doing with the race car is for awareness, raising a little money for autism awareness with the rides that you're giving. You fix the car as a two-seater so people can get in and ride with you and help raise some money and taking it all over the place. Tell us about the inspiration for the car. Why an autism awareness race car?
Well, Zachary's idea was building a little car shop starting in June, and he wanted to have a car that he could ride in. And then he came up with, they had a two-seater car at a local track over here, and they were giving rides for donations and raising money for a charity. And he said something about, let's do a charity for autism. And so I got a not-for-profit organization together and incorporated everything. And then we just started at it and got the car done. It took us 6 months to finish the car up. And like I say, we're just out here trying to get the awareness out to the people about autism, and you'd be amazed at how many people's got kids that's autistic that come to the racetrack, or they know somebody, you know. I get out there during intermission or after the races, and I'll talk to the people and ask them how many people in the audience either have somebody or know somebody has autism, and you'll see a bunch of hands come up.
It's becoming such a prevalent issue in our society, and we'll talk about why as we go through the show. But folks, you may notice that we're all wearing these little pins that are puzzle pieces, and that's part of autism awareness.
Right.
If you anywhere you see autism awareness posters or signs, you're going to see the puzzle pieces, and it's all over your race car too.
Right. The car's got puzzles from one end to the other. We just re-lettered it this week. We had to put all new lettering on it. It's the same thing, just redone it.
Yeah. Makes
it look a lot better. It kind of beat up racing it, you know.
I was wondering about that. You had this nice, fancy, all fixed up car, and then you're actually going to race it. And it takes a few little dings when you're actually out there on the track.
Yeah, it gets a little beat up, but that's racing, you know. That's what the graphics are all about. New sheet metal. You just fix it, put sheet metal on it. Zach does the Bondo work and everything, and we put it all back together and go back at it again.
Yeah. Well, Zach, tell us a little bit about working on the race car and your part in it. What were some of the things that you did on the race car that you enjoyed?
And besides that Bondo, we added primer, and then we painted the car white, and last we put the decals on it.
Yeah.
And after we got done with it, later on, I drove the car around Talladega short track.
Wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty neat thing. He got to drive a race car. First time he's ever drove a car besides a go-kart, and it was a stick shift.
Yeah.
I've got some video on our website. We'll give you the links later. And he got in the car, never killed it, took right off and drove it like he'd been driving before, you know.
Wonderful.
And we drove around the parking lot there a while at the track, and then we got on the track, and he drove several laps around the track. And he did real well. He surprised
what
me.
was that like, getting to drive it out on the track?
It was excellent.
A lot of fun, huh? Did you go real fast, or were you kind of slow to start with?
The car ran pretty fast.
He went not real fast, but it's second, third gear. You know, he used to run about 30, 40 miles an hour. And he did good. He didn't mess up, didn't bobble. Like he was born to do it, you know.
Didn't run into any walls or anything like that. So that's always, if you can make it around the racetrack without running into a wall, you've done a really good job.
Great.
Not a single obstacle.
Not a single obstacle, exactly right. Well, I'm sure you had a lot of help along the way in building this race car. Once word started getting out, did anybody you want to mention that helped you with parts or work or anything like that?
Well, I got the shirt here on O'Reilly's. They've helped me out a good bit with parts and, you know, materials to keep the car clean and everything. And then I've got a sign, a banner that's got all the names of the people that's helped out. Simmons Signs and Graphics did our graphic work for a car and did the lettering for it. And did a real good job on that. It's really pretty. And then got Beard and Oil Company supplying us fuel. American Racer Tires is getting us tires for the car to run. Marsh Racing Wheels out of Arkansas supplied the wheels for the car. Just on and on. I mean, you could, you know, Eastkey Racing Cams did the camshaft for us. Ross Pistons did the pistons for the motor. Crowder Rods supplied the rods for the motor. It just, you know, once this got out and got going, people started helping us with parts and everything to get. I couldn't do it by myself. There's no way.
What kind of class of a car is it? When you race it, what class do you run in?
Modified four-cylinder or modified pony, they call it. It's it runs at Green Valley. They run about 85 to 100 on the straightaway. They're pretty quick. About I think we run a 17, 9, 18-second lap around Green Valley. That's pretty quick for a four-cylinder car.
Yeah.
And this is one of the top cars down there. I mean, it's not a play pretty. It's a pretty car, but it's fast too.
Yeah.
We run top 3 with third in points over right now. And we haven't run all the races. Just we've been going here and there, but the races we've run well. Run real good with it.
What kind of receptions are you getting when you call up a racetrack or a show and say, look, we've got this autism awareness race car we'd like to bring down there? What you getting good receptions?
Oh yeah, real good. I have a few of them that have to go to the website first. And then they realize it's a real deal. You know, they thought, oh, just some fly-by-night deal coming in here. You know, they want this and that and the other. And then I give them a website and email, and then they call me back and say, yeah, bring it on. That's nice. That's really neat. And because they just, it's been received well by everybody. I've had some NASCAR interest in it. We were at Talladega for the big NASCAR weekend. Went down there, and some of the NASCAR drivers autographed the roof of the car. Wow. And we clear coated that so it wouldn't get messed up. Yeah. And they took pictures with Zachary with the car and everything, and he really ecstatic about that. It was pretty neat.
I guess that was a big thrill.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to go ahead and take a commercial break, and when we come back, we've got some pictures to show you of the car and some other things, and we'll talk about autism awareness, and not specifically about the car, but about autism itself, what it is, and signs to look for in your children. We'll do all that when we come back on East Alabama Today.
Looking for a great way to start your day on the radio?
Then join Steve Stevens and Carl Brady for the Steve and Carl Morning Show. Every weekday morning from 6 to 9 on 97.9 WVOK.
Welcome back to East Alabama Today. Paul and Zachary Noah are with us. We're talking about the autism race car and autism awareness. You've been seeing the website pop up on the screen where you can go and get more information about the autism race car. But Paul, let's talk about autism itself. What is autism for the folks who may not be really familiar with it?
Well, it's a mental disorder. These kids, they don't have real good social skills. Most of the kids are nonverbal at younger ages. They're really confused all the time. How I put it, people can understand if they mess with computers. The kid's brain's like a hard drive. You got all this information in there, and then you got RAM in there that you sort all the information with. But the kids don't have that RAM capacity.
Right.
So all this information is running around their head at all times, and they cannot sort it out. So when they're young, they don't know the difference between touch, hearing, sight, talking. I mean, they're just real confused. They're easy to get mad or have a meltdown because they get confused and they get angry.
And it's usually based on frustration.
Right. Yeah, they're frustrated because they can't figure out what's going on. Right. Everything is so confusing to them. And the older they get and the more treatments you use on, the better they get. Zachary, we started treating him with a secretin hormone therapy, which is still not approved by the FDA, and it was experimental. And we used it on him, and it really turned him around. He started communicating with us and talking and understanding and everything pretty quick. And I wish they would approve that. I mean, it works on about 50 to 65% of the kids, and that's better than none.
Yeah.
And like Zachary, he's in 11th, going to 11th grade at Southside High School next year. He's going to be in regular school, regular classes. He's going to be in the marching band next year. Wow. And everything. So we're really proud of him.
What instrument you going to be playing?
Xylophone.
Saxophone.
I mean xylophone.
Xylophone. I'm sorry. I heard saxophone. I'm sorry. The xylophone. Cool.
Yeah, he's going to be in what they call the pit. On the sideline, and he'll be playing right there in front.
That's awesome.
So he'll be doing that. He's been practicing with the band, the percussion group. Yeah. And he's doing well. And
autism is becoming more well known, and we're hearing more PSAs on radio and TV about autism and autism awareness and those kinds of things. It's becoming so prevalent. When you look at statistics, I can't remember right off the top of my head, but it's like 1 out of every 100 and something kids is likely to be born with some form of autism in today's society. What's going on? What's happening with this?
Really don't know. We have ideas what it is, but you really don't know exactly what's causing it. A lot of people say it's the shots, the
childhood immunization
shots, because in 1983 there was a list about this long of shots that the kids got. Now there's a list time they're 2 years old. There's a list. I mean, it's huge of shots that the kids have, and some of them shots have a form of mercury in it called thimerosal, and they think that's what the cause is. But it's not been proven, yet. Right. But it's kind of unusual that since they started all these shots, when they started, autism went up, and it's still going up and up and up.
Now, is it possible that the autism diagnosis rates are increasing simply because we know more about it and it's easier to recognize now?
Yes, it's that too. That could be the thing. I mean, Zach was diagnosed as 1 in 10,000. Now it's 1 in 166. 1 in 79 boys has got it. or get it.
And that's a huge statistic. Huge. 1 out of every 79 boys born in the United States
diagnosed by 2 years old.
Is diagnosed with autism by 2 years old. That makes it a serious problem that we all have to be aware of.
Yes, exactly. And I mean, it's just amazing that the people that are not informed about this, they see the commercials on TV and this, that, and the other, and they see that 1 in 166 statistic, but they don't go in there and find all the information.
Right.
You know, they just kind of know what's on top, you know, what the press lets them know. But I just hope that they find either a cure or a remedy or the cause for this, because like I said before, in 20 years, it's going to be a lot worse than it is now.
Yeah, if they don't find a way to hold it down or reverse it, it's just going to get worse. And while we're talking about this, let's just look at some of the pictures. And if you see one that interests you that you want to talk about, go ahead and do that. There's the car. There's
a little car, Zachary posing with it, and that's our page on our website, our main picture on our website. That's Zachary posing with a car at Green Valley, and a friend of mine did the layout for it. He did a real good job. And this is a girl, we took a ride at Green Valley. We rode her around the track, and that's right after we got done. And I asked her, she like it? She said, well, I got to have me a race car now. Her husband has a car. She said, she want this guy right here, Billy, I think his name's Billy Walker. He's a big fan of racing. He helps me out with the car some, and he got in there and he had a blast. And he had never rode a race car before in his life.
Really?
He had a good time. This little boy right here, we had to put spacers in there. I don't know if you can see them under his arm or anything. We got foam spacers where kids get up there and see.
Oh, yeah.
And he said that was better than any roller coaster ride he had ever been on.
Well, I guess so. When you take them for a ride, do you take them for a full-fledged ride most of the time?
Well, what I do, they got a signal for them. They thumbs up, go faster, thumbs down, slow down. He'll just thumbs up the whole time, so I never checked up. This guy right here, I think I scared him about half to death. I jumped the cushion in the corner with him, and it's a cushion where it's got a big roll in the track. I jumped it and slammed the car real hard in the corner. And he thought we was going in the wall. I did there for a second, but this is Mike Wallace with Zachary at Green Valley. That's Kenny Wallace's brother. You know Mike, he does Fox Sports.
Right.
He's commentary for Fox Sports. And he's a driver. He drives a Bush. It's David Rudiman with Zachary. It's after David has signed the car. That's at Talladega Short Track. And this Carl Edwards, and he had signed his car, and he was with Zachary too.
So Zach, you looking as cool as a cucumber there with these fancy guys.
Oh, he's cool. This is oh man, just forgot his name. Drives an 01 car for Smith.
I'm going blank as well. I see the DEI logo on his uniform there.
Regan Smith. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I'm sorry. I got the name.
Let's talk a little bit about the signs. If someone is concerned that maybe they have a child that's autistic, how old do they need to start looking at the symptoms, and what kind of symptoms are there to look at?
They started noticing them at around a year old. You know, around a year. We noticed Zachary, he quit talking to us. He was talking and, you know, just saying words, mom and daddy and all this stuff. He just quit at about 13, 14 months. And then no eye contact. You could take a pot and pan and smash it beside him like he was deaf. And we thought he was deaf. Mm-hmm. We took him to ear specialist and everything. But the other signs is they'll take, you know, anything, fork, knife, stick, and they'll play with it. And they'll look at their hands, and they just, or if they've got toys, they'll line the toys up in a certain order. Mm-hmm. You can take and scramble them toys, and they'll put them right back in the same order.
Yeah.
You know, they do things we call repetitive. Everything's repetitive. The same thing over and over and over. And they got to have a certain way to do things every day. If you get away from that, they'll have a meltdown.
Yeah. They
get pretty bad. Now, Zachary can tell you about when he was younger. They'll tell him he had meltdowns daily. I mean, just throw a fit, kicking, screaming, laying on the floor, run through walls, bust holes in sheetrock.
Wow.
And just, I mean, it was rough. And as he's gotten older, he's gotten better, and he hadn't had a problem. And
you've learned how to control those things, have you?
Yes.
Yes.
Tell them about your tempers, what you used to do. I mean, just he got real violent toward us, toward anybody. And as he got older, he figured out that he was hurting us, he was hurting himself, and he's gotten better, and he's more patient with everything, and he's getting better and better and better.
Yeah.
That's the main thing that what worries me is these young parents, the people in their early 20s that have kids that's diagnosed with it. I don't see how they can do it, because me and Jelena, we were older when Zachary was born, and we had a lot of help and everything.
Yeah.
But these younger parents that have kids that are diagnosed with autism, they got a long road.
Long road. It can be quite overwhelming and quite expensive as well. And we can talk about that as we wrap up when we come back on East Alabama Today. Thanks for joining us.
Do you have a topic or guest suggestion for our show? If so, get to your computer and send it to us right away. Email your ideas to cbrady@tv24.tv or visit our website at tv24.tv.
Welcome back. Final minute or so of the program talking about autism awareness. And here's some information as to how you can learn more about autism awareness and about the autism race car that Paul and Zachary have built. AutismRacecar.com. There's an email address with bellsouth.net. And if you happen to be on MySpace, send them a friend request. I have a MySpace, and they're on my MySpace. It's myspace.com/catch46. And you can get more information about the autism race car there as well. And Paul, we mentioned, we got 1 minute left. We mentioned that this can be a very expensive thing. Insurance help out? Are there anything to help out families that are in this situation?
Most insurance companies do not help on this because they call it a mental condition. But there are some that do. Most kids are on Medicaid because they can file for Social Security. I don't know if people they've got autistic children, y'all have it done, y'all need to file for Social Security disability because they are disabled.
Right.
And they can get disability for that. If it wasn't for that, I mean, it's amazing what the bills are.
Oh, I imagine. And there's a lot of times you can't get some of the treatments you need locally either, so there's a lot of travel involved. But Paul, thank you very much for being with us. We were just completely out of time. Zachary, great to see you again, buddy.
You too.
And look forward to seeing you some other time when you guys come back on the program. We'll have you back on some more. Thank you for joining us as well. That's going to wrap up the show for today. Be sure to check us out online at tv24.tv. I'll see you next time.